All right, good morning. Welcome in. I feel like we're going interview heavy today. Tom Luganville with ESPN at 8:30. Heavy SEC college football. Dave Bartu will preview Mississippi State and another team. I texted him that other team. I can't remember who. Was it Auburn? It was Auburn. I watched the Hugh Freeze press conference this weekend, which was weird that I watched that, but I did. Watch the press conference on YouTube. Anyway, we are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. So Tom Luganville with ESPN at 8:30, and Dave Bartu, who will preview Hail State football. He did Ole Miss last week or the week before. Dave Bartu at 9:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Want to say good morning. Welcome in the SEC Insider Hit this morning on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Prime morning drive time is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your car and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. We have a new helmet on the set, so we're rolling on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports, and guess what? I finally replaced the Ole Miss helmet. I got the powder blue helmet. So I'd given 3 of them away over the last year or so. And I finally realized I've got to stop giving helmets away. I've given away 3 Ole Miss helmets. The New Orleans Saints helmet, I do need to replace that. Alabama, I don't have Bama. I gave that away. We had a really good client that wanted the Bama helmet, so I just handed it to him. And do I still have Georgia, or have we had Georgia in a while? I can't remember. I remember giving a Georgia away. I don't think I replaced it. I mean, we're talking about 2-time national champion Kirby Smart, Georgia Bulldogs. Vanderbilt, God bless them, they're up in the corner of the bar. I have not, how do you, I think I moved them on the set maybe during baseball season for a minute. But, Vandy's over there with South Carolina. They're both going to fire their coach this year. And then Arkansas's down on the floor over here on the set. That's not very nice to the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'll have to find a space for them over by Jackson. Missouri's on the floor too, and they're not going to win near as many games as people are talking about, but they're going to win a bunch of games. They're not going to win as many as Ole Miss or Texas. We know Georgia and Bama are going to win a ton of games, but they'll win. But they're going to get beat up without that SEC East schedule. The question is, does Georgia get beat up without that SEC East schedule? But we do have a new helmet, Ole Miss powder blue. Southern Miss is on the set. Big year for Will Hall and the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. He needs to win. We hope he does. We'll see. For some reason, the Florida Gators are up here and the Dallas Cowboys. So that's our, and of course, the Mississippi Braves, the M Braves. So we got Southern Miss, Ole Miss, Lane Train bobblehead doll, Whiskey 61 hats, which look great, Gators, and Cowboys. Cowboys can't seem to get out of their own way. CeeDee Lamb still is not signed, Jackson.
But if that was Dak?
What now?
But if it was Dak?
Oh, man. Well, Dak, did you see Zeke Elliott fall down twice during training camp and nobody touched him?
Trash.
I mean, I know he seems like a nice guy.
Does he?
Oh, maybe he's not. I don't know. But, when you're an NFL running back and you trip over your feet, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a feat in itself. No pun intended.
Yeah. I mean, surely he's not the lead back.
I don't know, man.
Rico Dowdle?
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
Nah, he's not. He's not. Nick says that Trey Lance performance yesterday just made Dak a lot more money. Well, I mean, what about Stetson Bennett IV and his 4 interceptions? I mean, he's telling all kinds of people to hold his beer. Or hold my beer. Hold this beer. Cold beer.
What are you doing?
Well, he's not an NFL quarterback.
No.
Just because you win a national championship in college or play for one doesn't mean you're an NFL quarterback. You know?
You think if you catch him in a candid moment, he tells you that?
Stetson?
Yeah.
No. It's like, you know,
I'd rather him not.
it's like some Mike Leach quarterbacks that start and put up big numbers and think they're really good. Everybody for Mike Leach puts up big numbers. Everybody. Every single quarterback Mike Leach ever had put up big numbers. Every single one, if you just do a little research. We talked to 2 off the air, and they were like, dude, you know, basically where else would I have played? We are the Out of Bounds Show, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Bundle your car and home and save with your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. On the text line, I'll volunteer to take the Vandy helmet if you want to get rid of it. I work for them. You work for Vanderbilt or a Vanderbilt alum?
Yeah, whoa.
Let's see what's going on.
If he's working for Vandy, what kind of work's he doing for Vandy? Spy?
TJ is wrong. It is the most hated franchise by both the media and now, do they have a large fan base because of what they did in the 70s and the 90s? And then Jerry cultivating the LA market, smart. Hispanic market, smart. Going out to Oxnard every year, which I would think they're coming back home here soon. That was all check, smart. But I would not say, are they the biggest brand in North American sports? Yeah, I mean, they're bigger than the Lakers and the Yankees because it's the NFL. But the Lakers and the Yankees are huge too. All 3 in major metropolitan areas. Obviously, New York and LA bigger, but Dallas has had, major population boom the last 50 years. So, but we'll agree to disagree there. People love to hate the Cowboys. I mean, they love to hate the Cowboys. That's why I like Deshaun Watson. Here's an example of what Jackson and I were talking about earlier. Deshaun Watson is ranked 53rd by PFF in the last 2 seasons in quarterback play.
You failed to mention that the first time. I thought you meant overall, like in player wise. I was wondering how he got to 53rd. You're talking about quarterbacks.
Yes. So because of being suspended, injuries, and not playing well, but you don't hear anything because he plays for the Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
He's making right at $50 million a year. They haven't done anything. When he has played, he hasn't played well. He's been injured, and he's been suspended. Well, you can't count that. No. In the NFL, you're either available or you're not. It's kind of like that in business. You're either available this morning or you're not. And while we hope you're okay, you're not valuable if you're not available. So in the NFL with Deshaun Watson, he is, is he going to flip the switch after 3 years? Kyler Murray, I was told that he was much better than Dak and some others. He's got to get it done this year. We've got some others. I do believe Aaron Rodgers will get it done.
What does that mean, though? What does get it done mean?
Well, you're going to have to find your way to either one or 2 things. You're going to have to win the AFC East over the Bills or possibly the Dolphins, but I think the Bills, or find your way to a wild card.
Okay, but a playoff appearance is getting it done, yeah?
Obviously. That's the only thing you're doing in the NFL. And you're Aaron Rodgers and your age. So
is that getting
you
it
have
done?
to either get a wild card or you have
Okay.
to win the division.
Because anything can happen from there.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what
it's
I'm
the NFL. And you're
No, you're
Aaron
right.
Rodgers. Over 3 hours in a wild card game, he can beat anybody. He's that good.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Just
will
cracking
they?
it, just
I
getting
don't.
there, right.
I don't know, but the question is on December 1st, will the Jets be in position at
That's right.
least to maybe within a game of the Bills, or will they be in position to get a wild card playoff berth?
Okay, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Now, as far as a successful season, according to Aaron, what does that look like? Because I don't think it's a playoff. What I'm getting at, is it Super Bowl or bust? And I hate to do that, but I mean, it feels like.
No, you just got to make the playoffs in the NFL.
All right. Yeah.
And then see if you're healthy and all that.
Right.
And see
Reassess.
where you are in late December. A lot of times your offensive line, for some crazy reason, is healthy, and sometimes it is not. And that's usually going to dictate what happens in January. Okay? And so we'll just kind of have to see how that all plays out. Do I think the Saints are going – we just received a text. Do I think the Saints are going to the playoffs? I do not.
For what?
I do not.
Are they going to hang out?
Yeah, I mean, they may decide to go fly to a game.
Yeah, that's about all they're doing.
But I don't think the New Orleans Saints are going to the playoffs. I think the only team that's kind of locally pro or college that's going to the playoffs or has a great opportunity is the Ole Miss Rebels.
Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys may get a wild card.
That'd be.
I don't know. I mean, they didn't do anything
Yeah.
in the offseason. They
Nah.
spent less than $10 million in free agency. And so I don't have a lot of faith. Now, they have a new defensive – I mean, Dan Quinn's a good defensive coordinator. They were kind of Jekyll and Hyde. They'd have these huge games, 4 interceptions, blow people out. That team wouldn't score any points. And then they'd go play somebody good like the 49ers, be down 14-0 in 3 minutes. I don't know. Zimmer's a good coach. Quinn's a good coach. Who knows? Well, the Cowboys, I think they'll have an opportunity to get well, let's look at their division.
Yeah.
The
trash.
Eagles stunk it up at the end. Can they bounce back? The Commanders, they've got some pretty good personnel.
Hey, they're not bad by any stretch.
So, they grinded out a playoff berth a couple of years ago with no offense. Now, since then, they shipped a really good defensive lineman to the 49ers, so I don't know what to do with that. And then the Giants. Yeah, Cowboys are going to have a shot, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
Them and the Eagles.
by default, not by anything they did on their own.
Well, they'll have to win games. Winning games in the
yeah.
NFL is winning games. I don't care who you beat because anybody can beat anybody. It's not like college football. Vanderbilt can't beat Georgia, but the Arizona Cardinals and, the Jacksonville Jaguars and, these teams can win games on Sunday. I mean, good grief. Last year, the Broncos beat the Chiefs. Now, granted, Mahomes had the flu or something. And so that is a little bit different. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. You'll have high school football this week. I guess you're ready for that. And you got some Thursday night and some Friday night high school football. Boy, I know coaches have to be asking themselves, are we ready? Because, that's hard, man.
That's
Getting 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. We talk about how difficult it is for somebody like Levy in a rebuild to get that offense up and rolling because you can tell that he's frustrated with where they are. Now, again, 2 weeks from now, they can make some strides. But high school football, 15, 16, and 17-year-olds, man, oh, man.
You got what you got.
They don't know who they are, where
No.
they are, where they're – you don't even know where you're going.
I have no idea.
Does Christian know it's Monday?
I doubt it. I probably need to let him know. Yeah, I'll give him a ring.
Okay.
Monday.
Yeah.
I told you that day doesn't exist.
Yeah, you text me over the weekend and you said every day is Saturday.
Every day.
I think that's a philosophy that you've lived by either forever or for some time.
It's been a while. That and every time I drive, it's a parade.
It's a parade?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
for my father, yeah.
Okay.
Because everywhere you go, you got to wave to somebody.
Oh, you wave at people.
Always waving at folks.
Do you know them?
Yeah, typically.
Really?
Well, I mean, back in the day, when we adopted that was the Clinton days. So, I mean, obviously, everybody knows everybody down there.
My gosh, this guy works for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing this, and he actually works for Vanderbilt.
All right, let's switch gears. This guy, works with researchers to map brain images. What?
That's dope. That's so tight.
Wow. Okay, that's over our head. But he's a researcher for Vanderbilt. Really cool. Is he in Nashville?
Yeah, like where is he? Where are you? Oh, we probably should do a roll call.
Does he do this like remote? Do we need to do a roll call?
I mean, it would probably make sense, right?
All right, let's give away some more stuff. Golly, we've got a ton of stuff. And it's football season. Everybody's happy. And I want you to be happier. I know it's Monday. The weather over the weekend should have made you happy because it was football weather. I mean, Wendy and I took, I don't know how many laps on the boat we did, but it felt so good. Floated on both Saturday and Sunday, lap after lap. No kids in the house. It was a good weekend. So let's do the out of bounds roll call, and we'll give away some cool stuff. We got Burgers, Blues, and Barbecue. Burgers, Blues, Barbecue gift certificates. We've got out of bounds swag, Tito's swag, and Pearl River Resort swag. So we'll give away 5 prizes this morning. Out of bounds roll call. How are you listening? Where are you listening from? Who's your team? The Ag Up Equipment text line, 601-885-3776. 601-885-3776. How are you listening, radio or streaming? Where are you listening from? We had somebody's from Meadville. Where are you listening from? And who is your team? Saints, Rebs, Dogs, Cowboys, Packers, South Panola. Who is your team? Out of bounds roll call on a Monday morning. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. The Out of Bounds show is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Joe is coming in hot. Shower Radio, Hottie Toddy and Who Dat, Joe and Madison. What do you think about that? That's his second week to weigh in. And then we get a dog, Radio Flora Hail State.
Boom, boom, boom.
Kosciuszko. All right, so we're going to pick 5 winners randomly that will get really cool stuff on the Out of Bounds roll call. How are you listening, radio or streaming? Where are you listening from? Who is your team? Jackson, do you want to guess who's going to – do you want to go ahead and give your Super Bowl pick for the year? You're not going with the Chiefs, are you?
No, I refuse to do that. I'm gonna have to mull that over. That's a off the cuff. It's gonna be an NFC team, and I hate to say that because they never win them.
49ers, Packers, Lions.
Oh, I want it to be the Lions.
49ers, Packers, Lions.
They'll be the most widely celebrated win if they can even get there. It'd be crazy. I would like to see that.
I also want to know, MHSAA, give me the best 2 or 3 teams in the state. I think it's kind of the same. Well, it's the same 5 every year. Don't you feel like? Kind of.
Typically.
Yeah. And Brandon's the one that the champion, a championship has eluded them. Madison Central's knocked down 2, but went forever, but finally knocked down 1. Clinton they've knocked down 1 with Cam.
Yep.
As far as metro area, Brandon has, now down in the Hattiesburg area, Oak Grove,
Yeah.
Oxford and Starkville, always strong. Going to see who's going to emerge out of 7A on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Who is going to be the powerhouse from the Mississippi Gulf Coast? With all those 7A teams, with the population exploding on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and then also DeSoto County. Who's going to emerge? Who wants it?
Jeez.
Who wants to come up and get it?
Because there's no one right now.
MAIS. Is it Hartfield again? Is it MRA? Is it Prep? Can JA come do it? What are we going to do? Hartfield back to back?
No way.
Prep, MRA. And is JA lurking in the shadows? Northwest Rankin Mike says no one from the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Wow.
I'm not buying. I don't buy that. There's too many kids down there. They've been good before. Kinda. Why wouldn't they be good again? Eventually one of them stands out, and everyone.
Well, eventually one of them will get the right coach,
right,
the right booster club, and the right senior class.
Right.
Now I don't know when that'll happen. I don't know if that class is in 9th grade and has to go all the way through and figure it out, make a couple of playoff appearances, and then make the state championship game and then win it. You know, tell me about your senior class. Tell me that, you know, that they've made a couple of playoffs, that you've got talent, that they're hungry, and so on. You know, you could argue MRA lost the best player in the history of the program, John White. He's at Southern Miss right now. Best quarterback in the history of MAIS?
I don't know, man. Whole Bowles.
I mean, and look, they wouldn't have they would not have played. I mean, they didn't have anything like they've had around him last year.
Out of bounds alums have something to say.
Oh,
I mean, Whole Bowles.
Yeah, good high school player.
Great high school player.
But I don't think he was going to compete for the Southern Miss starting job.
No. Whole had too much. He wasn't worried about all that either. That guy.
And I don't think he was dropping dimes like John White.
John White's good.
Okay, so here we go. We've got it. We've got a listener here. MRA in the 6A, Tri-County in the 4A, Canton Academy in the 3A. Okay. And then what? Hey, Jackson, have you ever been to Tillatoba?
Tillatoba. I didn't know that was a real thing.
Oh, man, yeah. It's a legendary place in Mississippi.
Where is it?
Robert M. says, I'm listening on the Out of Bounds radio app. I'm in Tillatoba. My high school team this year is Grenada. I think they are returning a lot of starters. Oak Grove will dominate the Gulf Coast for years. They're kind of in the middle.
Okay.
But
if you include them.
If you want to include Hattis, the Pine Belt in the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Oak Grove's been winning forever. And he goes MRA and the MAIS. I think Hartfield's going to have something to say about that. And Prep. Nick says Louisville will probably win their 100th title. They're in the state championship game every single year. You feel like it.
Good.
Lumberton. I mean, it's these teams that just tough as hell, and they get after it. Tom Lugan, speaking of getting after it, Tom Luganville will join us at 8:30. Dave Bartu at 9:30. We're going to preview the Mississippi State football schedule with Dave Bartu at 9:30. We're going to do it on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. We want to say good morning, welcome in the show, the Out of Bounds show, live in the Bank Plus studio. Tom Luganville at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line.